Greetings, all you fine people out there in internet land. God, I miss hosting radio. Tonight, I bring you something different. I will perform a full comedic commentary or a riff tracks of a popular film. I have chosen a film by the great American genius, Andy Warhol. Now, I've not watched this movie all the way through yet, but I'm sure there will be plenty to talk about. So sit back and enjoy Andy Warhol's Empire. Hey look, it's the Empire State Building, just like in the title. Did the editor die? Feel free to go to another shot now. Oh, maybe they're waiting for King Kong to show up. King Kong's late to the set. Oh wait, is this that movie that's one continuous shot, uninterrupted? How long is this thing anyways? 8 hours! And 5 minutes! I can't watch 8 hours and 5 minutes of this! Oh, this episode's a bust. I hate Andy Warhol and his attempt to make us appreciate consumer objects we'd otherwise overlook. Well, what am I going to talk about now? I've got it. Tonight, we're going to take a look back at nostalgic carpet fibers. Nostalgic shoes. Fantastic in no boots of Chinese plastic. When I talk to people about what they wore in the past decades, they tend to focus on everything above the ankles. Sadly, we overlook the shoes, which is strange considering how crucial shoes are to the outfit. Your peers will chastise you for wearing unpleasant foot accessories. So to get in the in crowd, you've got to sport whatever kicks are the flavor of the month, no matter how ridiculous they are. And some of these were pretty damn ridiculous. For instance, ever wish you had a shoe with the functionality of a bike pump? What? Such a thought hasn't crossed your mind? You're living in reality? Then you missed out on the inflatable shoe craze. The Reebok pump, the Nike air pressure, and the LA Gear regulators. These sneakers had a little internal inflation system that formed the shoe around the foot. Not bad in concept if you're playing basketball and need the support. But most purchasers were slogging around shopping malls and high schools. Apparently, they needed the shoes for the hard activities of standing in line, sitting at a desk, standing in line again, and hey, even more standing. Now the pumps were highly sought after, like a holy grail of shoes. Now why was such an arbitrary item so highly prized? Because the pumps were so damn expensive. And if it's expensive, then you gotta own it. Status symbol galore with these leather airbags. I'm honestly shocked that we didn't see more disasters with these.
But only one golf shoe gives every golfer a custom fit, now that the pump from Reebok has arrived. I pump up for support, protection, and a custom...
There were no survivors. The 90s saw its own gimmicky shoe craze with an equally confounding mechanism. I'm talking about light-up shoes, the most famous of which was LA Gear lights. On the darkest nights, I'd see disembodied red lights marching down the street like electric will-o'-the-wisps. I'd see kids playing basketball in the darkness, those red lights streaking and blurring like devil's eyes in the dusk. They were cool, they were intimidating, they were flashing and flaring all over the place, and they may or may not have triggered seizures. In retrospect, I feel kind of bad for all the old folks I might have killed this way.
From LA Gear.
Here's the funny part. These shoes are intended to be merely a gimmick. Oh look, those shoes light up, isn't that something? However, they became a decent safety product. Going jogging at night? Put these beacons on your feet. Cars will see you from miles away, thereby making you an easier target for drive-bys. I didn't think about this. Stealth or safety, you can't have them both. Now this was a time when LA Gear was at its height, assisted by its ad campaign which featured one late 80s Michael Jackson. Late 80s Michael Jackson ruled the world. Let's face it, he was a one-man Illuminati. He could sell ice to Eskimos. He could sell coconuts to Eskimos. LA lights are still around, and I'm not talking about those crappy cigarettes. LA Gear brought the lights back into style, but something is different. Something is not right. Oh, turn that shit off. It's like you stepped on David Guetta and you stuck to your heel. So these new lights aren't as slick as the originals, but we can always sit back and remember the flashy, trashy cross-trainers of yesteryear. Unless you died of a seizure. In which case, I apologize. Hear me down there, dead people? I apologize. Now with all this hype about image in the 80s, I mean for Christ's sake, we had a genre called glam rock, what the fuck was that? It was inevitable that there would be dissenters to the great colossus of fashion. These rebels, whether they be goths or punks or mods, conformed their tastes and were all drawn to wearing classic Doc Martens airwear. Doc Martens have always been the proper attire for us countercultural elite. Having gained popularity in the 60s by working class skinheads, Doc Martens stayed in the fringe of fashion for generations. I think it's because of how badass they look, like combat boots, but more comfortable, suitable for civilian wear. It's like you're saying, I might weigh only 90 pounds, but I will still stomp your skull. And the cushioning makes it feel like I'm walking on clouds. Now if only we could create a codpiece that doesn't chafe at the crotch, punk fashion will be set for the next 50 years. The early 90s was an era of awful aesthetics, but it's not like people weren't trying to dress up. It's just that everyone on Earth, all at once, puffed glue, killed their brain cells, and agreed universally that acid-wash jeans, Umbros, and windbreakers were flattering. And for footwear, girls had jelly sandals. I'm not sure if they were trying to conjure up images of Cinderella's glass slipper, but they decided that see-through shoes was the way to go. This meant that the sandal was made of a clear, chunky plastic. Now try to imagine the odor that developed in that plastic cavern. Let me tell you, anytime a girl wearing jellies went to take her shoes off, I was like, take it outside. Like, far outside. Like, in that field way over there. And make sure the breeze is blowing in the opposite direction. Fortunately, jelly sandals were designated for the younger girls. For adults, only the classiest of lassies would sport jellies. As kids, our friends at Nickelodeon had our backs by offering their own brand of sneakers. Here's a commercial for Nickelodeon shoes.
Nickelodeon, it's the latest news on the avenue.
What makes these sneakers so great? I'm asking you. I don't see anything special about them. Except apparently they make you walk on tables, and walls, and goats seem to like them. That's something. Wow, shoes are exciting! I thought I was gonna do something. Rather play with Nickelodeon Moon shoes. Oh wait, I hated these. Sure, they look like fun if you were a scrawny kid, but all us kids of robust physique, we never got to appreciate these because under our weight, these trampolines turned into hammocks. It was like trying to jump around with paper bags on your feet. You looked like an idiot. Not as much of an idiot as this girl jump roping with moon shoes. That's just stupid.
From the creators of Squiggle Wiggle Riders.
From the creators of what?
From the creators of Squiggle Wiggle Riders.
Oh, that's why I hate these. They're from the same minds that brought us the vibrating dildo pen. Wow, the world of yesteryear was very strange. And you know what? It's still around. Residue of our memories linger in the atmosphere and rains down upon us in strange new forms. LA Gear brought back the lights. Hell, even the originals have returned. Various companies began producing updated pump sneakers. Doc Martens never really went out of style. And there's even a small fraction of the population trying to bring jelly sandals back to the runway. And as post-tentious as I am, I have already amalgamated all our nostalgic shoes into one piece. It's a light-up, hydrogen-inflated jelly boot that runs on 8 D-cell batteries and has a light so strong you can see it from space. Is this excessive? Maybe, but excessive doesn't go far enough for me. It must be maximum excess. Max excessive. I'm actually wearing a pair of those shoes right now, let me show you. Glass tubes and filaments keep the lights burning as bright as they can. And they... Oh, the glass just shattered under my weight. This is incredibly painful. I am bleeding profusely, in case you cannot see. Although considering all the wiring and electricity and hydrogen, I'm surprised this hasn't caused some sort of electrical... all the cost of being excessive. Man, this thing is so bulky. If only there were an electronic version of it.